Hi everyone.
Hello.
Oh yeah, I can see the YouTube is working. So yeah, welcome to the uh, Starknet Basecamp, which is as well the development class training that Beach in Africa is taking you through. Feel most welcome to this session. My name is Harriet Odima. I'm the co-founder of Beach in Africa. I'm also the CTO. We have a number of hosts with us here. We also have our CEO, Mr. Femi Adegolu. So without wasting much time, we can hear the opening speech from Mr. Femi. Over to you, Femi.
All right. Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining the Basecamp with Beach in Africa, powered by Starknet Foundation. It's a pleasure to be here to speak to you all today. Not to waste much of your time, my name is Femi Adegolu. I'm the founder and CEO of Beach in Africa. And I'm talking to you right now from Lagos, Nigeria. It's actually a very rainy day over here. And thankfully, I was able to join this, live stream. For real, it's a real pleasure to be here. I am. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can we see from the comment section if our audience can hear Mr. Femi?
Let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Please let me know in the chats if you can hear me. So can I go ahead?
Sure, you can, Femi. Most of them seem to be hearing you.
What did you say, Harriet?
You can go ahead with the broadcast because from the comment section, most of them can hear you.
Okay, good. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So, my name is Femi Adegolu. I'm the founder and CEO of Beach in Africa, and we are one of Africa's largest Web3 edtechs that provides quality, accessible, and comprehensive blockchain education to young people in Africa across, board. We are currently active in over 10 African countries as our community spreads across Nigeria and, of course, Kenya, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Mali, Burkina Faso, and spread to other African countries too. And our aim is very simple: to make sure that we provide, access to, comprehensive blockchain education and help you kickstart a career in the Web3 space. The goal of Beach in Africa in the next couple of years is to be able to provide, blockchain education to over 1 million African youths and to help to skill them up for the future of work, and that includes, boot camps like this, which is a base camp, with Beach in Africa, powered by Starknet Foundation, our amazing partners. First of all, I want to say a big thank you on behalf of, my team, our co-founder, to Starknet for, powering this, training, to train you guys for free, and all the developers are going to benefit from this, training. We really take this very seriously. I would not take it for granted. And I really want to say that for every one of you who are listening to me today, be rest assured that our trainers are the best in the game. They're the best in the industry to give you the necessary support that you need. Harriet, our co-founder and CTO, based in Kenya, the Hamas and Obedi, who are also Kenyan blockchain engineers here. Our African brothers, they're here to help you, to guide you, to give you the necessary training that you need and all the information you need to be able to build on Cairo. I also need to let you know that you'll be having certificates at the end of the program. So do well to, be attentive in class, ask questions, and of course, if you do not understand, you can rewatch the live stream because it's going to be posted on our channel. And please, please, and please, I have to please appeal to you all to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because apart from this program, we're going to be having much more workshops coming up in future. We're going to be having our events. You can go on our page and see how we have been able to post some very quality contents for you on our channel. So this is one of the initiatives that we've come up with, and we believe that through this, you get to really benefit from us, and of course, in the long run, be able to say that, yeah, Beach in Africa was one of the platforms that really enabled your career success, and of course, kickstarted maybe your Web3 career, or maybe if you're a Web2 developer. So yeah, we are welcoming you on board, and we say thank you for being a part of this success story. And just to make an introduction once again, Harriet is our co-founder and CTO, and Christopher Inyerebe is our operations manager and partnerships lead at Beach in Africa. And the Hamas and Obedi, there are trainers that are going to be teaching you on Starknet. So thank you all for listening. My name is Femi Adegolu. I'm the founder of CEO Beach in Africa, and I'm very excited to have you on board. Bye for now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, our CEO. That is a great opening speech and opening remark. I would also like to just echo what our founder has said. We're working with partnerships with the Starknet Foundation that has powered this program for us to be able to train you on Starknet developer, not forgetting the Kiboko DAO. Kiboko DAO is a community of developers where myself as a developer and the trainers, we are members of the Kiboko DAO. So we've also partnered in giving out this training. So thank you. Without taking much time or much of your time, I would just like to share the guidelines for I'll just like to present the guidelines for our coming session. So just a minute as I share, so that you can know what we'll be expecting of you during the program. Well, the program will run for 3 weeks, commencing today through to Friday that ends on 26th of July. And what happens during the program is we shall be training from the Starknet fundamentals through to developing simple apps, guided by our trainers who are on board, Dalmas Ogembo. We have Obed Omwenga. We also have Timothy, who hasn't joined. I'm just uploading the presentation just before Dalmas takes off. So just a minute. So yeah, and these presentations will be running every Monday, and Wednesdays we'll be having 2 sessions every week. Mondays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. West African time. That means 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. East African time every Monday and every Wednesdays. We shall encourage you to engage the session, ask questions, ask clarity through the comment section of our chat. You can pose your questions there, and the Q&A session will be coming after every presentation, after every training session. We are looking forward to going through a series of topics. There have been a number of learners who have been inboxing me asking about preparing the development environment. I can assure you, you are in the right place. You are with the right trainers. So what will happen is that we'll go step by step. We'll start from the fundamentals of Starknet, just from even making you understand what Starknet is, Starknet protocol, for those people who have not even been to the Web3 or blockchain space before, through to deep dive, even through to building simple applications in the Starknet protocol. So that is what we should be looking forward to in this class. And at the end of the class, we'll do an assessment for the learners so that we can gauge your understanding through the 12-hour session that we have had with all of you. And also, like the founder said, there'll be certificates that Beach in Africa will issue to the learners. So without taking much time through the fundamentals, we are going to have Mr. Douglas Ogembo walk us through. So whatever is not clear, whatever is not understandable, kindly post your questions on the comment section. Also on the comment section will be a link for the Google form where you'll be signing, marking your attendance, like you fill the Google form and submit. That way you will have signed your attendance for the lesson of today. So, and we have a magic number. Magic number is the date of today, 08. That is what you'll enter as magic number. So thank you for that. The link for the Google form will be shared. So keep an eye so that when you attend every session, you always fill that attendance space. Thank you. Over to you, Dalmas.
Thank you so much, Harriet and Femi, for having this nice session and doing the right introductions for this training. So my name is Dalmas, and welcome to our Starknet training program. Over the next few weeks, that's over the next 3 weeks, we'll be covering Starknet development, and in this case, we'll be learning everything that entails Starknet smart contract development, deployment, testing, and also now deploying to the live production environment. Today we'll start with the basics, and in this case we are going to discuss what Starknet is, its key features, and how it fits into the Ethereum ecosystem. And also we'll explore the benefits of layer 2 solutions, such as Starknet and others, as we go through. If you have any questions as we are into this session, drop them into the chat and I'll be able to answer them with the help of Obed and Harriet and Timothy. Thank you. So let me present my screen and we get started. So starting off, we're going to start off by understanding what blockchain is. I believe there might be somebody in this call who don't know what blockchain is or who is totally new to blockchain and actually blockchain development. So blockchain, in simple terms, it means it's a decentralized distributed ledger that records transactions across main computers in such a way that the registered transactions cannot be altered by anyone else. So in this case, we are used to Web2 technologies such as Facebook, Google. What we know about them is that all the information is stored under Google servers or under Facebook servers. But blockchain comes into place to help decentralize that information storage. So not a single entity that contains all that information. Sorry for that. So what are the key features of the blockchain? So the first key feature of blockchain is decentralization. Decentralization means there's no single point of control in a way that all the data is in a single place. For example, Google stores all the data in their Google servers, meaning Google controls the data. Same with Facebook. Same with other Web2 based platforms, none of them. But blockchain does not work that way. So all this information is in different people and it's in the same. So it's sort of like there's no single point of failure at the same time. That's like another deeper meaning. Another feature of blockchain is transparency. So transparency means all transactions are visible to all the people who are to all the people who are trying to find them. So for example, if you go to Ethereum, we have something called an explorer. An explorer displays all the transactions regardless of whosoever did the transaction. That is the transparency portion of blockchain. Not so, for example, in the Web2 space, we know, for example, in a bank, the bank only sees the transactions. And maybe if a user does a transaction, that's the only transaction they can be able to see in their account. But for the blockchain, everybody can be able to see all the transactions as they have been made chronologically. The other feature of blockchain is security. So most blockchains use cryptography to secure their data. That means like the data there is totally safe, and also there's high data integrity as compared to the Web2 ecosystem. And lastly, we have immutability. Immutability means data once it has been stored on the blockchain, it cannot be changed. As we go on, we'll talk about what's called uh, the blocks and the term chain. So blockchain, like how it goes. So let's see what immutability means in the next state. So how does blockchain work? So the way blockchain works is that all blocks in a chain are linked to each other with a cryptographic signature. In that, if a block that appeared before another block is changed, that block can be considered as null and void. So each block is linked to another block, and hence that forms a chain. That's why we have blockchain. So blockchain is like a chain of these blocks. And what's a block? A block contains all transactions, not all transactions, but rather a number of transactions. So once a block is sort of filled with the number of transactions, it is signed off, and then another block is created. The newly created block is linked to the old block using a hash, meaning if the data changes at any point from a given server, then that data for that block is wrong. And another thing, we have a consensus mechanism on the blockchain. So these are things like we have talked about being changed, data being changed, in order to avoid data being changed. So there is a consensus mechanism that ensures this data does not get changed at any point. And finally, we have cryptography, and the cryptography forms the basis of the blockchain. This is because most of the wallets that we use and most of the data that is stored on the blockchain is cryptography signed before it is being saved. For example, blocks, when a block is created and when a block is sort of minted, then it is cryptography signed, and that signature that is generated from that is linked to the next block. And also our private and public keys, they are all done using cryptography. So your wallet address, your public key for that wallet, and also your private key, they're generated using cryptography. This ensures that nobody can sort of just guess the private key and the public key of a given wallet and signs off transactions illegally. So let's see what we have in terms of introduction to Ethereum. So in introduction to Ethereum, here we'll cover what Ethereum is. Ethereum is an open source decentralized blockchain with smart contract functionality. We are familiar with Bitcoin, but Bitcoin sort of is a closed system in that we cannot write our own smart contracts there by default. But I believe that one is being changed as we speak. So what are the key features of Ethereum? Ethereum has smart contracts, and smart contracts in simple terms, it means this like a simple self-executing contracts with the terms or the contract logic written directly into code. So we talk about the normal contracts that we sign off here in the normal world, where we say if somebody does a given thing, then pay them this. That's what smart contracts are. They have like those instructions written top down, and hence once call or a transaction is made, then they automatically execute based on given features being met. We also have things like decentralized applications on Ethereum. And the decentralized applications are applications that run on the Ethereum blockchain. So these are applications that run the smart contracts that have been written on the on-chain. And also we have Ether. Ether is the native cryptocurrency used to pay for transactions on Ethereum. So let's look at the introduction to Starknet as our next portion, as our next topic. And Starknet is a layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum that uses ZK rollups to process transactions off-chain, providing high scalability and security. There are a number of layer 2 solutions currently on Ethereum that are based on different concepts. For example, Starknet is based on a concept called stacks. We have optimistic rollups and other rollups, which we'll cover in a moment. So Starknet is a permissionless, decentralized layer 2 ZK rollup that operates over the Ethereum blockchain, enabling ND app to achieve unlimited scale for its users. This means it can handle large number of transactions at much lower cost. That's the importance, one of the importances of layer 2 solutions. They reduce the costs that are incurred by different users on chain. So what are the key features of Starknet? Starknet has a number of key features that enable it to be one of the best layer 2 rollup, layer 2 chain to Ethereum. Number one, we have the high scalability through ZK rollups. And another one is secure and efficient transactions. And also, we can talk about the native account abstraction, which is a really nice feature of Starknet that is by default coded into Starknet ecosystem. And also we have a developer-friendly environment. When it comes to writing smart contracts on the Starknet ecosystem, we use a language called Cairo, which is like Rust, but it's more easier to learn, more easier to code through as compared to learning and coding Rust itself. It's like a copy of Rust, but not like a fully copy, but it's a language on its own. We'll also take a great look into Cairo as we go on. That is the thing on the second meetup. So what's the primary purpose of Starknet if we may talk about that one? The primary purpose of Starknet is to scale Ethereum, making it more accessible and efficient to developers and users. By providing a platform for decentralized applications, Starknet enhances performance and lower costs, making it an attractive solution for building scalable apps. As we continue going through this program, we'll be able to see how we can write our own smart contract, and we can be able to see the fees we incur when making different calls. And I believe I'll be able to illustrate or show a demo of the costs as compared to the costs on Ethereum. So for those who have used Ethereum itself, it's kind of expensive at some time and at some time cheap, depending on the traffic at that particular time. And also depending on other features, for example, the function you call or the function you want to execute on chain. So let's understand what layer 2 solutions are. Yeah, I think this one's covered. So what are layer 2 solutions? Layer 2 solutions are protocols built on top of blockchain, on top of a blockchain to improve its scalability and efficiency. So, for example, Starknet is a layer 2 solution built over Ethereum. And there are several types of layer 2 solutions, including state channels, plasma optimistic rollups, and ZK rollups. Starknet utilizes ZK rollups, which offer significant benefits in terms of scalability and security. So there are a number of these layer 2 solutions, and for this particular program, we'll only be covering Starknet. But we have other solutions like Optimism, which are built over Ethereum itself. They all use different features, different concepts. And for this case, I've said Starknet uses stacks concept or a zero knowledge concept, while the optimistic rollup uses optimistic, while optimism uses optimistic concept. So how does Starknet fit into? So we have talked about the types of layer 2 solutions. We have the optimistic rollups, CK rollups, state channels. How does Starknet fit into Ethereum? So Starknet as a layer 2 solution fits into the Ethereum ecosystem by using ZK rollups to process multiple transactions off-chain and submit cryptographic proofs to Ethereum. This reduces the load on the Ethereum main chain, enhances transaction speed, and it lowers the costs. So when we talk about Starknet, you will realize that the way it works, it has like lots and lots of math in it to ensure that it generates the right proof for Ethereum. Going back a bit, we realize that we have like these different types of layer 2 solutions that use different concepts in order for them to scale Ethereum blockchain. The way ZK rollups work is that they sort of tend to hide information from one person to another, and Starknet in this case has like an architecture that allows it to quickly bundle transactions together and then generate a single proof. So these include things like approvers and verifiers. So, and also sequencers. So we have sequencers, provers, and verifiers that sort of bundle up the transactions and then they send them up to Ethereum. So, talking about the benefits of layer 2 solutions, I believe we have covered most of this. So that is scalability, cost efficiency, and security. And also we also have user experience. So when it comes to transaction finality, layer 2 solutions help the transaction reach finality at a faster rate. So how do ZK rollups work? ZK rollups work by bundling multiple transactions into a single proof, which is then verified by the main chain. This significantly reduces the amount of data that needs to be processed on the main chain, resulting in faster and cheaper transactions. So in this case, when we say about bundling multiple transactions, because each transaction somehow has to be tracked down on how it came up. So Starknet collects all those transactions, and then after verifying each transaction on its own, it bundles them together before generating a single proof that can be sent to the main chain. So this single proof is what's recorded on Ethereum main chain. So not all the transactions, not each transaction is recorded on the main chain. So to avoid sending a lot of data to Ethereum, that's how most of the rest of layer 2s work. So they bundle most of the transaction, then send a single proof to Ethereum mainnet. What are the advantages of ZK rollups? So it reduces the amount of data processed on the main chain, increasing the transaction speed and also lowering costs. So somebody might ask, how do ZK rollups lower the cost? If you bundle most of the transaction, then send them as a single transaction to Ethereum main chain, then you realize this transaction, the transactions, you are not signing each transaction on its own. You are signing like multiple transactions at once, and hence, and also not like you are signing those multiple transactions with all their data, but rather with a single proof. So that reduces the amount you pay for each transaction in general. So let's compare ZK rollups with other layer 2 solutions. So we have other layer 2 solutions that use different concepts such as state channels, optimistic rollups, and plasma. So what are state channels? They are suitable for frequent microtransactions between a fixed set of participants. We also have plasma, which creates child chains that can handle large volumes of transactions. And finally, we have optimistic rollups, which are similar to ZK rollups but relies on fraud proofs to ensure security. While there are these several layer 2 solutions, each has its strengths and use cases. So the strengths are, for example, for the state channels, we have said they are suitable for microtransactions, and optimistic rollups are suitable. Okay, they rely on fraud proofs to ensure security. So that's little bit of introduction to Starknet and an introduction to blockchain and also to other layer 2 solutions. If there are any other questions, them on the chat so that we can take a look onto them.
Yes, Dalmas, we have a question. It's asking, what do you mean by fraud proofs?
So when we talk about fraud proofs, we mean like they sort of present an evidence that the state transition was incorrect. In this case, let's talk about transitioning between a given block to another. If that one is incorrect, then they sort of try to provide an evidence that this state has been manipulated, and hence the data there is incorrect, or that given state is sort of null and void, like something that should be avoided to be stored on chain. So there are a few more resources that I'm going to post, but before that, I'd like to get more questions if there are any, but I'm going to show some of the D apps built on Starknet and also the resources that we can use, and also a few more things that you might need while learning or while we are into this program. Give me a moment. So if we go to starknet.io, there's lots of information here that you can use. But in this case, we have this section that says start building. We have the Starknet docs, developer tutorials, tools and resources. We also have use Starknet section that shows like discover apps, find wallet, and finally a section to deposit and withdraw funds. And here I'm going to this section that says discover apps, where we'll show like show different apps built on the Starknet ecosystem so that you can be able to have this in mind while you are building. So we have the Starknet Dapland, and here you can be able to find all forms of the apps built on Starknet. We have said before, like Starknet enables you to write smart contracts, same as Ethereum, but in this case, your smart contract, when users come to interact with your smart contracts, they interact with the low fees and low costs. And here we are going to see a few. So we have like this filter that talks about on-ramp. On-ramp means like uploading your funds to the blockchain. And off-ramp is the opposite, now moving your funds from on-chain to your normal wallet, like a bank account or mobile money, etc. Let me open this. This is the app. So we have ramp here, and this enables users to buy and sell crypto inside your app. You can think of this as a payment gateway that you can use in your app. Yeah. So let me go back a bit. Here also you can be able to see the different categories that are available. We have this is an active filter, but rather the bridges, and the bridging means like moving funds from one chain to another. And in this case, it can mean bridging funds from Starknet to Ethereum or Ethereum to Starknet. We also have apps on DeFi. DeFi in full means decentralized finance. We are familiar with banks that talk about banks that deal with people's money in a centralized manner, like all the data is just there in the bank. But DeFi in this case it means like this data about people's funds, people's money, people's assets is on chain. Also, we have games, and these are games built on Starknet. Some apps dealing with NFTs. NFTs means non-fungible tokens. Apps on social, and also infrastructure, and also DAOs. So here you can be able to see a number of the apps, and also with the time, this is where you can get your inspiration from. For example, you can come in, look at a given the app, try to find its GitHub if it's given. Some D apps have not like open sourced their GitHub, maybe because they are in development, but once they are done with the development portion of things, you'll be able to find their GitHub. For example, we have JDSwap GitHub account here, and this one it shows all the JDSwap code, including smart contracts. So if you are doing something to do with the DeFi and you want to learn more about like how to write a smart contract that does something, or something related to swapping, something related to creating pools, liquidity. So you can read more from the JDSwap contracts. So we have talked a little bit about gaming, and here you can be able to see the different games built on Starknet. And I believe under the hood, they're utilizing something called Dojo. Dojo is another tool on Starknet that helps developers to build games. It sort of bundles transactions because in gaming there are a lot of things that happen. For example, a user won, a user lost, somebody made a move, and you can't like sign each transaction separately. So Dojo allows you to do that. We have wallets on Starknet, and the two wallets that we have are called Agentex and Bravos. Like MetaMask, that is the most common wallet on Ethereum. For Starknet, we have Bravos and Agentex. And another thing to note is that Starknet by default is not like fully compatible with MetaMask. So that's why we have like separate wallets for it. And like the other L2s that utilize MetaMask that utilizes Ethereum under the hood. So for Starknet, sort of totally separate from the rest. And that one ensures its security and also its scalability at some point because it doesn't like rely on MetaMask. And also another thing that we have talked about Starknet is that it has something called native account abstraction. And under native account abstraction, you can sort of create your own accounts or smart contract accounts that allow users to just sign in or interact with your app using email only, not like MetaMask or Ethereum where you have to have like your 12 seed phrase word or your 24 words for a seed phrase. So Starknet under the hood allows one to create accounts, smart contract accounts that allow users to or sort of abstract the entire seed phrase stuff from the user. I'm going to show you how to have one of the critical platforms for Starknet, that is bridging. And I think I can illustrate that one from. Okay. Yes. So, as part of this introduction, I'll illustrate this version of bridging, where you use Starkgate to bridge funds from Ethereum mainnet to your Starknet account. So by default, you will need to have some funds in your wallets in order to use your wallets. Then you'll have to bridge some funds. So here you'll come here and connect your two wallets. And at first you'll have to connect something like MetaMask. Then and also connect. So once these two have been sort of connected, then you can continue to bridge some funds through. And here, I think I can do, but you need to have some enough funds to do the bridging. And for my case, okay, let's see. So once this one happens, then I'll have moved some ETH from Ethereum to my Starknet account. But this is just to show you what you need or how to fund your Starknet wallet. So this one is done. Then that transaction, once it's activated, it will sort of appear in my Starknet wallet here. Let's look at transactions on Starknet. And for this case, I'm going to illustrate through a app called TokenKit. And this, once we are done learning Starknet development, we'll be able to learn all this and create a app that looks something like this. And the TokenKit is just a package that allows users or developers to quickly load tokens onto the app. And once that one is done, your users can be able to just click and a model like this can appear. So if you sign a transaction here, let's look at the cost that we incur. I'm going to get some address from StackScan. And to introduce StackScan also, StackScan is an explorer on Starknet that allows users to see transactions, different transactions on the Starknet ecosystem. For example, you have made a transaction and you want to track it. This way you can be able to find the transaction. Besides StackScan, we also have Voyager. Voyager also is another explorer. They are similar to Etherscan, if you are familiar with Etherscan. They all sort of display the different transactions, and this shows the transparency of the blockchain by displaying all these transactions. So if somebody made a transaction, you will find it here. So when interacting with your D app, usually you'll have to connect your wallet as I have done here. So I'm going to connect to Bravos. And after connection, you can be able to interact with the contract, the underlying contract. And in this case, I'm going to pass in a given, like this a function that lists a new token onto this package. Currently, we have stack USDC and USDT. Now I want to add a new token. For your users or for the contracts you'll be developing for your D apps, you will sort of have interfaces like this where people can directly interact with them. And here I'm going to just pass in some URL. Okay, I think I need to refresh this page. Okay, so this one has decided to do its own things, but a good illustration can be in Jedi Swap. Jedi Swap is a DEX for Starknet that allows users to swap tokens from one token to another. So and here I'm only going to illustrate the transaction costs or the transaction fees that we will be incurring. So I'll swap between Starknet to maybe 10 stack to some USDC. So if I confirm the swap, you realize like I've only used some small value, that's $0.002 to do the transaction, as compared to doing normal swaps on Ethereum itself. If you are doing a large transaction on Ethereum, the swap fee might be quite high. So for Ethereum, the most popular DEX for doing such things is Uniswap. And here you can be able to swap between token A to token B. So I'm going to swap it for some USDC also. And if I do the swap, let's see the fee. The fee is 0.001. But let's imagine you are doing another transaction which is kind of large, maybe 100 ETH for something. This relatively will be having high fees. Currently, I can't do that because I don't have that much. As if you were to do the same on Starknet here, let me see the fees. Okay, I have like only 9 stack. Let's swap between 8 to stack. So of course here the same thing, insufficient balance. But if you were to compare fully the transactions, there are comparison platforms that you can use to do the same. So we have done an introduction to Starknet and also looked at its explorers. And also we have talked about the D apps that are built on Starknet, the transaction fees that are incurred on Starknet. I don't know if you have any other questions. Okay. Yeah. If there are any other questions, you can drop them in the chat. Meanwhile, let's also look at something here to do with the NFTs. And for those who like art and NFTs, your favorite platform on Starknet is called Pyramid, pyramid.market, that's the URL. And here you can be able to see the different NFTs, purchase, sell your NFTs. So if I look at my dashboard, for example, I think I do have some. Yeah. I believe with some time we can be able to come in, do our own NFTs, create our own NFT contract, and deploy or create some NFTs using that contract. So how do fraud proof work? For that question that was asked earlier, and I said sort of trying to make sure that the inserted state is the right state. So talking a little bit about them, let me go back here. So to submit a fraud proof, the challenger must provide evidence that transaction in question is invalid. This involves providing a detailed computation of the transaction's execution, showing that the state transition resulting from the transaction does not match the claimed state. So for you to be able to sort of create a new fraud proof, this is the work of the people who make sure that the blocks are correct. You have to sort of check or confirm that the transaction you are saying is a fraud. You give the right information about it. What are the benefits of fraud proofs? Number one, we have security. Fraud proofs enhance security by ensuring that only valid transactions are ultimately recorded on the blockchain. And another benefit is efficiency. Fraud proofs allow layer 2 solutions to achieve higher throughput and lower costs while still maintaining the security guarantees of the underlying layer 1 blockchain. So I think I should be here. So those are the benefits of fraud proofs. And what are the comparison to ZK rollups? While optimistic rollups use fraud proofs to ensure transaction validity, ZK rollups use zero knowledge proofs. In ZK rollups, each batch of transactions includes a cryptographic proof that verifies the correctness of the transactions. This proof is generated off-chain, but verified on-chain, providing immediate assurance of validity without the need for a challenge period. So once you have generated that proof from the off-chain side of things, it is also verified on-chain, in that you don't have to go through the challenge portion of things like the way optimistic rollups work. That is for ZK rollups. I don't know whether there are any other questions. About the recorded, yeah. So if you come back to YouTube, you'll be able to relatively find the recorded class. So going back to the DAppland, we also talked a bit about social, and we know doing social on the blockchain is another thing to help avoid providing all your information to a given platform like Facebook, etc. So there's a nice platform on that's called OnlyDust. This started off with Starknet, and it allows you to do contributions to different projects in this given ecosystem. So we have Ethereum, Optimism, Aptos, and Cosmos, but our focus will be on Starknet. And here you can be able to see the different projects on Starknet that you can contribute into. This grows your general knowledge on how to write code on Starknet, and also in different languages, including JavaScript, etc. Another resource that we like to take a look into is called Node Guardians. And Node Guardians is a place where you are going to test your skills once you are done learning Starknet. Here, you can be able to find different things, including accounts, including smart contracts. You can be able to test your knowledge. They'll also test how you write efficient code, that is gas fee for a given function, or the gas fee a given function is going to consume. And also your skill on data structures. For example, bad accounts tests, it tests a few things, that's security. How do you write security on your blog, on your contracts? We also have things to do with data structures. And let's look at this. It's called Thinking in Cairo. Thinking in Cairo will help you write efficient code that does not consume a lot of gas. Once we are done with our class, this will be part of the tests that you're going to do to make sure that you have understood a number of things in Starknet in Cairo. Another resource that we'll take a look into is called Stacklinks. Stacklinks is a list of exercises given for different sections. Okay, I think I'll cancel this and come back in later. So here you can be able to come in, do different tests, and they'll help improve your general knowledge in writing Cairo contract. Another resource that we'll take a look into is called Starknet book. And the Starknet book will contain information about Starknet. All these links will be provided as we go on. That is most probably in the second class, where we'll take a deeper look into Starknet. Starknet book will show you what happens in the Starknet ecosystem, or how Starknet ecosystem works fully, and also writing some code. We also have another tool or another resource called Cairo book. And the Cairo book will show you how to write the Cairo code itself. So we'll be following some topics from this book as we go on, but generally, if time allows, that's when we'll follow each topic. But I believe we'll cover most of them, which are the critical topics that you'll require for your smart contract development or Starknet development. And also, we'll talk a little bit about Remix. Just Remix, and how we can use this tool in deploying contracts. Okay, this. So we'll have to sort of install this Starknet plugin, then use it to deploy, interact with your contracts as we go on. So there are a number of tools, resources that we'll take a look into. Going back to starknet.io, we also have a few more links that you can take a look into that can help you write better code, understand how Starknet works fully. And also here you'll be able to get opportunities on the Starknet ecosystem. And I believe at the end of this program, you can be able to do an MVP and apply for the seed grant that Starknet has. I believe we have like enough time for you to do or achieve that. So this is part of the opportunities on the Starknet ecosystem that you'll need to take or take a great look into. We also have talked about Only Dust. This is another place where you have like opportunities, work on different issues, then you will be rewarded along the way. So if you realize something is not working well, do a PR, then you will be rewarded for that one. For other tools, we have something called Voyager API under the Voyager dashboard. And if you find yourself here, the API will help you like get access to some information, some data about Starknet. This includes tokens, some transactions, etc. Another tool or some other tools that we will not be like fully looking into, we have Starknet RPCs. For this one, we will not like look into them fully, but rather just go through them a little bit. We have a few of them here, and for now, I'm not going to like go and talk about them because they have like a lot of information going under them. But I'll probably talk about them under the deep dive. That's class. Here we'll cover more information about how Starknet works and what are these full nodes, what do these endpoints do, what are RPC services, etc. So we'll talk about this in the coming class. We have talked about the wallets on Starknet ecosystem, the Bravos agent. We also have so these two are more fully decentralized for you. We have OKX, MetaMask, but the first two are the easier ones to use fully with Starknet as compared to these other ones. For MetaMask, you have to sort of install something called a snap for your MetaMask to work. That's the Starknet snap. So this is not like a direct thing that you can just sort of work with it out of the hood. As we go on, you will realize like the accounts on Starknet, that is an account created on Bravos and an account created on Agent, are not like fully interoperable, but with, I believe with the time, these things will start working together. But for now, once you have an account on Bravos, it can only work under Bravos, and if you have an account on Agent, it can only work under Agent. And also to help you be updated on Starknet, remember to find their community. And also for this program, it's good for you to be following the BChain community and also the Kiboko DAO communities. They will help you know about what's happening on Starknet right now. But for the Starknet ecosystem itself, we have the community tab here where you can be able to sort of follow through the community. The link to the communities and I don't know. Let me see where you will find them. Yeah, so if you go to community.starknet.io, that's where you'll find links to. Okay, this is like the different issues that different developers have been facing on Starknet, and also different links to the community itself, like Discord. I believe for Discord we have it here. Yep. Okay, yeah, that's where it is. We have the online communities. So for those who like to follow Starknet, that's where you find the links to the different communities. So just go to community tab and the last link there, online communities. That's where you'll find the official links to Discord, Twitter, Starknet Basecamp, and also we should have Telegram here, etc. But once you're in the Discord community of Starknet, here you'll be able to get like up-to-date information on Starknet itself. So I'm not sure. Okay. Yeah. Actually, the links are on top here to Discord and also to X. So follow X, follow Discord, and you'll get like any opportunity coming up, you'll find it there for you. Anybody dropping in a question? To hacking, i.e., is it safe? So there's a question here from Divne Clem saying smart contract accounts sound cool, but without seed phrase, doesn't it present some vulnerability to hacking? I.e., is it safe? That's the question. Are smart contract accounts safe? Smart contract accounts safe. So yeah, the way they have been made, it's the implementation that you make will define the security of it. But generally, the concept itself of smart contract account or native account abstraction rather is a secure concept. How you implement it is the most critical thing. because if you do it wrongly, then you'll find things are not good for you. For example, we have the two wallets, that is Bravos and Agentex. They have utilized the native account abstraction to be able to provide you with the two accounts that we have. That's why they are sort of different accounts. But generally speaking, they are safe and secure the way they have been implemented. And if you look at it right now, for example, for Agentex, actually for both of them, Agentex and Bravos, you can sign a transaction using your hardware signers, but still they do have the seed phrases, etc. That is for you to help you like move your wallets around. But generally speaking, you don't really have to worry about your wallets. For the Agent X case, they use like, if you have linked your account to an email, then relatively you can be able to interact with your account securely without having issues. And another advantage of native account abstraction is that it allows users to use different tokens when they're paying for gas fees. For example, currently on Starknet, you can be able to pay using Stack, and also you can pay using it as the gas fee. That means you can use another token to pay for gas fees. So with the time, if you do a D app, for example, a game that is, you feel like, okay, it's time for me to sort of move the gas fees to this different token, then you can achieve that by using the native account abstraction on Starknet or the SO smart contract accounts. So I don't know whether there are any other questions. So so that's, I believe, as an intro to Starknet. And at some point, this sort of a hand or an interactive class. So for today, it's like you have decided not to have some questions, but I believe as time goes by, we'll be able to have more questions coming in through. So at the end of this training, we'll be able to develop a few or 1D app, and also maybe a game. And it will be able to utilize the different things that we'll be covering through the class. I don't know what I've left a resource out besides the Node Guardians, Stack links, and also the Starknet docs, the Cairo book, and the different communities that they are in. I don't know whether So for the first class, sort of a more introduction. The next class, the deep dive class, will contain more information on how Starknet works, and also from there on, we'll start to get our hands on to code. So for the next class, I'd ask that you set up your laptops to have a few things up and running. That includes have VS Code and also Node.js installed. Those will define the two things or the two tools that we'll be using during our classes. So there is a question that is to create Bravo Agent account, how much stack does one need? For you to create any of those wallets, you don't like really need much of the tokens or of the stack tokens. Just make sure that you have downloaded the wallet that's, for example, go to AgentX. So just search for AgentX Starknet wallet. And here you will be redirected to this AgentX agent.xyz AgentX and download the wallet for your browser. That is either Chrome or Brave or Mozilla or Microsoft Edge. Just have for your browser, and once it has been installed, just click on create new. Okay, for your installation, you'll only set like create a new wallet, which is totally free, and you can just create the wallet, then save your seed phrase somewhere. So, and also talking about seed phrases and to the question that was asked earlier about does it like not having the seed phrases that are so common in the blockchain insecure? So just for now, save your seed phrase. And also native account abstraction allows us developers to avoid showing seed phrases to our users. Seed phrases can be difficult to maintain, and there are a lot of people who are complaining to losing their seed phrases and losing their assets in the long run. You lost a seed phrase, then finally that account that you had some funds in it, or somehow it got an airdrop, then you are just in for it. So native account abstraction allows users to sort of don't see the seed phrase, but can move with the account easily. So you can implement something like that, then do email login that will allow users to quickly recover their accounts using their email. AgentX, I believe, does offer that feature where you can recover your account using your email, but it's a paid feature on AgentX. So they have sort of linked your email to your account, I believe. I've not looked at the architecture fully, Bravos wallet. So yeah, also for Bravos, just visit the bravos.app, then click download, then you'll be able to see the different. Okay, I don't think I've been presenting my screen. Okay. Okay, I believe this the screen. So for Bravos also, just download the app, do a normal setup. For my case, I have here Bravos. The setup is sort of easy to do, easy to work around with. Not much like heavy, complex UI stuff. So I'd not talked about the wallets as we started off, but or as I was talking about the tools that we require, I talked about having your VS Code setup, Node.js, and also have a wallet, either Bravos or Agentex. To get, there's something called faucets that will help you do local or testing net development and testing. So you'll also sort of get some faucets from different websites that are available on Starknet. For those faucets, you can get them from Blast or Starknet, Starknet token faucets themselves. So that's where you'll be getting your faucets from. For those who are from the Sepolia faucet background, but for the new, for those who are new to blockchain development, faucets are like testnet funds that can help you interact with your contract on testnet. That is on Sepolia. Goeli has been deprecated from Starknet. For those who know the two testnet environments, we had Sepolia and Goeli, but for Starknet, and I believe even from Ethereum, Goeli is sort of being deprecated to only remain with Sepolia. What are we supposed to set up before the next class? So before the next class, have VS Code ready, Node.js, a wallet, either Gentex or Bravos. I'd relatively say have both the wallets. And also, we have some other tools that you'll need to have. That's called Scab. Starknet. But for these ones, I don't think if it will be good for you to install them now. We shall install them as we will be setting up the environment in the next class. For now, just know we have like Scab, and also we have another tool called Foundry. For those coming from Ethereum, they know Foundry is a tool that helps them do smart contract development. Also for Starknet, we have Starknet Foundry. That helps you do the same thing as you will have been doing on Ethereum. So this includes testing and also interacting with your contract, either on Sepolia or on mainnet or even on DevNet. Another tool that we'll be using most of the time is called DevNet. And DevNet is a local development node for Starknet. This allows us to test our contracts locally on our machines. We don't really have to sort of publish them to testnet or Sepolia to test them or out or onto mainnet. All these things we'll talk about them deeper as time goes by. For now, let's leave things simple because there are a number of things that are needed for us to sort of reach here. But we'll cover them, all of them step by step as time goes by. So for the next class, that is the deep dive into Starknet. I've said we'll talk about how how Starknet works fully, from one making a transaction for that transaction being finalized on L1, on layer 1, that's on Ethereum. So that's for Zik Tech. And Lois also a question here. I tried Alchemy, but it requires at least 0.001. Could you be generous to help? I don't know, Alchemy. Is it setting up your environment? Is it setting up like your wallet? Setting up wallets sort of free. You don't really need an amount to set them up. The only time you'll be needing some funds is during development or during testing, interacting with your contract. And for that one, Starknet has sorted us with faucets. And for those faucets, if I may go there, let me open this. We have like for the faucets we have where we get them. That's from we'll get them from Blast or Starknet faucet web page. So they provide us with the 0.002 ETH on Starknet faucet, and also they provide like another value for stack, I think 0.002 stack, but still, since the transaction fees are less, you won't like notice the transaction values. I don't know whether my screen has been visible up or it has been down. So for a recap of today, I'm going to just sort of write it down, and you'll allow me to so what have we covered today? So let me open my file here and have them down. And for those who, okay, let me just do Markdown preview. So we started off with understanding what is Starknet. And after that, we understood, or we looked into what Ethereum is. And also we talked about what a layer 2 solution is. And also we looked into the different types of concepts or technologies utilized for layer 2 solutions. So different technologies utilized for layer 2 solutions. And we also looked into the opportunities. Actually, before that, we looked into the different D apps on Starknet. We looked into Starknet, actually not Starknet bridging, but rather into bridging. And we said bridging will help us fund our Starknet wallet from Ethereum. So using Starknet, we then looked into the different explorers. That is Voyager and Starkscan. And we said the explorers will help us see the different transactions that we commit or we do on Starknet. Then we looked into different resources. And for the resources, this included things like our resources like Node Guardians, which is a platform to help us test our skills, and also Starklinks. We also looked into Cairo book. For this was just an overall overview, and after the Cairo book, we also looked into Starknet book, and also we have talked a little bit about different tools. And for the tools, we have said we have VS Code. This where we'll be writing our code. Mostly Node.js will help us do the front end. Foundry, and also we talked a little bit about DevNet, Starknet wallets as another tool. Many more will be coming, and here I'll be able to talk a little bit about Stack Deployer and how it can help us to deploy and test our contracts. So I didn't talk about it right now, but that's something that I'll add up as we go on. Is sent from an exchange that supports Starknet. So is it a must to bridge Ethereum to Starknet to commence operations, or it can just be sent from an exchange, an exchanger that supports Starknet? You don't really have to bridge. So you can send, yeah, as you have said, you can send those Starknet from an exchange that supports it. For example, Binance, OKEX. So from those exchanges, you can sort of send your wallets and send it to your wallets, and also you can do something like on ramping or off ramp. Okay, on ramping to have some funds in your wallet to get started on Starknet. And so I don't know whether my screen is visible to you, and I can't confirm that one fully. So confirming. So Harriet, maybe you can confirm whether my screen is visible or not. Okay, so
Well, we can't see your screen.
okay, then
Oh,
you
yeah,
can.
yeah. There you go.
Okay, going down from the different tools, we have also taken a look into like the opportunities that we have on Starknet. and this includes the Starknet seed grant. And this means once we are done with our program, just make sure you sort of have a nice project to present to Starknet. And also we have Only Dust. And I've said Only Dust is an open source contribution platform previously built on Starknet, but now moving to various ecosystems to allow people to contribute to different ecosystems and get rewarded for the same. And also we talked about the Starknet community. And here we said you can go to track the different things happening on Starknet through Discord and also through Twitter. And also, yeah, actually those two, the Discord and Twitter. So this is what we have covered today. And I believe you have taken note of this, as it will be part of the test that we'll be doing later on at the end of this program. If there are any further questions, you can post them. I think I've answered Kayode's question. So Bravos wallet or an agent wallet, it's free to create. Yeah. Oh, okay. Just recalled something. So creating a wallet is free, but to sign the transaction or to sort of create your wallet on chain will require some funds. I'd forgotten to talk about that one. So let's see how much it costs to do that. So for your wallets, for mainnet wallets, so let's just create a testnet wallet and see how much it costs. So I'm going to add a new account. So for this account, I've created a new account successfully. But for you to be able to now start using this wallet, for example, do swaps or do something related to this, you have to set up your account on chain. And to set up your account on chain for testnet is sort of kind of easy. Just go to click on the deposit button and then go click get some stack it from some faucets. So go back, copy your address. Here I'm going to copy the address like that, paste it there. Select I'm not a robot. Motorcycles. If you verify successfully, then you can request for these faucets. So let's wait and see what we get and how much it costs for us to set. Okay, the transaction has been processed. So we have gained some 0.025 ETH. So this can help us set up our account on chain. What you need to do next is to click there and then just click on your account on top there and then click on the settings or the settings icon, the cog icon, then click set up your account. And here you will see it will only take like 0.0001 ETH, max like about $0.002, then hit the pre account. That's for a Bravos account. So let's see how it goes through. So it will deploy our account and set it on chain, and it has only costed us a small amount of ETH. Remember, you can't use your wallet if it's not been set up on chain. So for Bravos, that's the easy setup. And for Agent X, That is for Sepolia. So we'll just test out for Agentex. I'm going to test out mainnet. So for mainnet, I want to create a new account. So here I'm going to add a new account, and I'm going to create a standard account. So here they say email is required. Why do they require an email? As we said, Starknet supports native account abstraction, and you can be able to sort of utilize that as a developer to create accounts or wallets that somebody can even sign in using their mobile phones, something that will identify somebody to avoid like having to save the seed phrase somewhere. So I'm going to just create a standard account. Uh, then once you have a standard account like this one, so let me deposit some funds to it. And for that, for this one who asked like you need like 0.001 ETH. So at some point we'll be sending out some amount of stack, maybe about 2 stack or a 3 stack to help you set up your accounts on chain. So, and also to test maybe your contracts on mainnet. That is
Yeah, and
after
if
we
I
have
may
done some.
just
Yes.
if I may just contribute to that, Dalmas, that was a question from Katrina. I think the challenge she had was securing test tokens into the faucet. I think she probably was using a different test net, because I know Sepolia usually issues test tokens for free, but I've had instances where I've also used a different test net, and I saw them demanding that I needed to have some amount like 0.01 ETH on my main net. So just a question of choosing the test net that you use. Probably you can consider using Sepolia, then that way you'll be able to refill your faucet with free test funds. Yeah. I think that is the question she was asking. You just demonstrated how to go about it, Dalmas. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, okay. Then now I fully, then now I understand why she was saying like you require like 0.001 ETH in your account. So for that one, okay, let's just finish this, then we'll go back to that one. Uh, so for our mainnet account, I'm going to send in some stack, and in this case, I'm not going to send much. I'll only send like 1 stack to it. I think that's my wallet. Send a stack 1. Okay. Double check. I believe I copied the right address. And if I go to my other account, I'll wait for it to come in. So this is for mainnet, deploying an account to mainnet. So we'll just wait for the transaction to be completed, or I didn't send even to his account. So also you can be able to track out the different transactions in your wallet. So I'd sent 1 stack to this account. Definitely I'd sent some. So it's taking some time. Yeah, the transaction has been completed. And now I have like that much of stack. And here to deploy my account, there, okay, you can come onto the settings here and then click deploy account also. So it also requires like a small value of this stack tokens, or this, the value is like 0.00029. Then that's how you deploy your mainnet account. So once it is deployed, then it can be able now to interact fully with the different D apps on Starknet, like JDSwap, Nostra, etc. So I don't only shown you JDSwap as a D app, a DeFi D app on Starknet. There are several others there. So going back to the issue of you needing to have like 0.001 stack tokens or ETH in your account for you to be able to. So if I go to Sepolia faucet like this one, and I try to enter my address, so I'm going to enter my MetaMask address. Copy that one, and here mask address that does not have a pair. So okay, parrot 33. Does this one have a pair? Sure, this one doesn't seem to have a pair. So if I try to start mining like this, I'll be asked like the faucet denied starting a session because your wallet does not meet the minimum passport score. Or at some point it will ask you to like have a value of 0.001 in your account. So if you try to mine faucets on Ethereum, they need you to have like on your mainnet account to have like 0.001 ETH. They realized like people are misusing these websites, mining a lot of faucets and overloading the servers. So they had to reduce who to mine with some conditions. So for this, for my case here, I've been asked to have a minimum score of two. That's Gitcoin passport. So that is if you are developing on Ethereum, just proceed to Gitcoin passport and try to link your wallet, link your social media accounts. That includes Discord, GitHub, maybe Telegram, etc. Once you have linked those, you can be able to have that required score. That's a Gitcoin passport. Some others you'll have to have like that value, like the minimum balance to confirm you are not a bot or you are not just misusing the resources that are there for you to use. A mainnet balance of 8 on Starknet Sepolia faucet. Okay, let me confirm that one. So you're saying Starknet Sepolia faucet, this one. On the wallet address being used. Okay, on my Gentex, are these wallets the same for sure? Doubt. This is the mainnet. On mainnet, how much did I have? Actually, I had nothing there. So, okay, I don't know exactly why it was failing. I can't really tell why it was failing, but yes, let's confirm this. Okay, this is because I've already requested from this IP address, so it has. I will confirm with another one. That is, let's try another faucet from the, yeah, let's try this one. Also see whether it requires that much. Yeah, okay, verify I'm human, then claim. Okay, for this one also, it has just claimed this some value. I can't really tell what went south. Maybe can you post a link of the faucet that you used? That is Python Learner. That will help us see alchemy. Okay, alchemy. So the entire thing about like these faucets, if they have like that requirement, is to make sure like you don't offer mine to help reduce people overloading testnet servers also, because they're also like required for, they are also like maintained and all those things. Okay, I do recall seeing that one, but I don't recall exactly where. Let me switch to Sepolia. Yeah, so for this one, I'd sort of gotten them without really having those 0.001 tokens. But in case you don't like succeed in getting these faucets, you can reach out, ask for some, and we'll gladly send you some. So I don't know whether there are any other questions. I think I'll call upon Harriet to say something, or Obed if he is in the call. So for the next class, we'll be doing a deep dive into Starknet, and this means we are going to learn the complexities of how Starknet works, and that will inform what we are going to do from the third class onwards. So tomorrow, the Wednesday's deep dive class will involve learning the transaction, how the transaction flows, how transactions on Starknet flow, and also the installation or setup of the environment. And maybe we might be covering our first class on Cairo. So the Cairo class will cover or will help us understand the basic concepts in Cairo, and also some of the critical or required concepts in the in Cairo development. So, and also about the resources I have talked about here, all of this will be shared shortly in our group, that is Beach in Africa, and also on the Kiboko DAO platform. It's good just to get started working on them or going through them as we now have our classes. We'll also be having assignments as we go on, and these assignments might include writing some code, doing some text questions. And for today, an assignment will be dropped in just in a few moments. And for this assignment, for you to cover it up, you are going to create a GitHub a repository. And this GitHub repository, you can give it a name. For example, for your, okay. Okay, before we go to that, give it a name like, let me just write a title here. GitHub repository setting. So name your repository like Bchain, Starknet, something like that, Bchain Starknet. And also this where all our source code is going to go for this class. This is to allow us to be able to track everything in one simple place. So for our local setup, simple local setup, just create a folder, call it Bchain Starknet also, like that. And under this, so we'll just move this there. Under this will be like day one, and under day one there will be like assignment one. So that's what we expect. Then this is what you're going to push. So your repo, or set up your repo on the bchain Starknet folder. Make sure that's where you set up your repo. Okay, let me just write it here. Set up repo here. This one will help us easily track the different assignments that we have. So assignment one or another assignments that will be given here. So that's where your day one will be. And also don't remember to, don't forget to set up your .ignore correctly. So for your .ignore, not .ignore, but rather gitignore. Make sure it has the things that should be ignored by default, like node modules. We have something like target, maybe anything to do with your environment, and maybe any assets that you don't want to display or upload to your project. So for that one, I'm going to illustrate how to do it on my machine. So this is what you do. So I have bit in there. For my case, I'm just going to, okay, I already have it. I'm going to create a new folder here, call it day one. Or for somebody else who doesn't want to use like days, they can use things like session one. So we'll have a total of 6 sessions and always have everything under session one. So I'm going to just close this one. And then I'm going to set up my GitHub here. So I'll head over to GitHub. Okay, there. And here I'm going to set a new, make the repository to be available, like make the repository to be available publicly. So I'm going to do here bchain Africa, and I have to make sure it's public. And I have to select the owner to Dalmasonto, make it public. After that, create your repository. So with the time as we go on, some projects, you don't really have to put all your projects under this same repository. You might need to move some of your projects out to different like repositories. Also, you can do that one safely. But for our classwork, maybe assignment, mostly assignments, that's what you have to do. Just have a single repository for the same. But for projects, you might need to have them out on separate repositories. This is because Starknet might come back looking at your work some point later, looking at the projects that you have done. So for you to also just have them like that, or have them under a single repository and explain everything in your README. I'm going to open my folder in the terminal, and here I'm going to sort of, maybe let's start a .gitignore. Oh, okay, this is wrong. Let's start by the first one, git. The first command is git init. We have to initialize our git repository, then we touch our .gitignore. And also you can open Code Insiders, okay, code. ./.gitignore. So in your .gitignore file, you can add the common things like node modules. But once we are done like setting up the right thing, Okay, once we have started working on our projects, we'll be setting up these Git ignores under the projects themselves. So node modules is just a sample and maybe something like assets that I don't really want to upload to GitHub. Once you have done that, proceed to commit your work. So git add dot, then git commit -m recap session 1. Then after that, you need to link your GitHub to your account. So here we have been told to set like the main branch to main. So I'll just do that and also set my remote URL. And also finally, I'm going to push my work. So that's the simple setup and the simple push. So all the assignments should go under that same project folder, and you are going to submit like this single GitHub URL to us for checking and for marking and getting feedback back to you. I don't know whether there are any other further questions. So relatively, the assignment will be dropped in the different groups in just a moment. I think we are good. So I call upon Harriet or Obed or Christopher to say something.
Thank you, Dalmas, for that presentation. Chris, Obed, have you something to add to the class? All right, since Chris and Obed, they may not have much to add on here because they already added previously. Well, we want to thank you, our today's instructor. So per session, we'll always be having 1 or 2 instructors. The other instructors will just be, supporting in other ways. We will not always have per session like all the instructors teaching, but where necessary, we will do that. So don't mind if you not seen other instructors on board, but that is the arrangement. Thank you so much, Dalmas, for the insightful walkthrough of fundamentals to Starknet. It has been quite educative. And in next class, we'll be covering the deep dive. What I would urge the class of today is that because as we move forward, we are moving closer to the practicals. So it would just be important to do the installations as it has been instructed. I would advise personally that in the next class, at least let each person come with an already installed wallet, probably with an updated test net that has already been funded with some tokens, some test funds. You'll need that test funds during the practicals. For example, for even your transaction when you're interacting with a smart contract, that is now where you use the test funds in your wallet. So somehow you will not run away from having a wallet that has some test funds. So it's so important that you start this early because as we move forward, probably it's gonna get intense. So thank you so much for joining. Looking forward to meeting you in the next class in 2 days' time. The link will be shared again. It's been quite an engaging. I'm impressed by how concerned, how inquisitive the class has been asking questions. You are always encouraged to ask. We are all learning, so there is nobody who knows everything. So I was impressed by how engaging the session was. Thank you so much, everyone. I think we'll just end this stream. I look forward to seeing you in the class of Wednesday. So we'll be doing this in the next 3 weeks up to Friday ending 26th of July. Thank you. Have a great evening. Bye.
Bye.